Hey guys, welcome to another dev call. Yeah, June 9th. So, gonna kick it off. Doing some good stuff. Yeah, we'll start off with you, Ryan. How's things?
Good. Um, Going to tackle I'm actually adding more to the bridge page, so we're going to be able to delegate your tokens to the validators and also select your reporter.
All right, you got a node and everything running too.
That was still syncing over the weekend, and but yeah, I will also be tackling that. So
All
once it's
right,
fully synced, then I'll um, be doing the delegating on the manual side as well.
super cool. Uh, Dan, how's things?
Good. I've been doing some gas and fees research and testing for the sake of monitoring profitability.
Nice. Yeah, no, I'm excited. Maybe next week you can probably go over with us.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. See how profitable some people are.
hmm
Cool. All right. Uh, Spuddy, how's things?
Great. I've been working on automating the manual tests, working on the LVM and the DVM. I'm going to add that alert to the DVM. Also, I made a OS GNU price feed. I think I'm just going to make the SGNU price feed
GNO.
GNO. I'm sorry, it's GNO. This is
GNO.
staked gnosis, restaked gnosis. GNU is something to do with Linux. So yeah, I got to make another one of those feeds.
Cool. Um, nice. Tim, how's things?
Good. I I asked Dan to help me with these end-to-end tests. I'm having trouble building my latest version of Layer. I got it to build the main branch on Friday, but then yeah, I don't know something's all messed up. So I'm tapping Dan in and focusing on the unit test myself for sake of time. Um, and then moving on to some monitoring after that. But
So
the wrap
you'll be done this week?
For sure, yeah. It's yeah, and I have a bunch of unit tests laid out already. I also have some end-to-end tests laid out, but then can't run them or can't run it with the latest version. But yeah, like the actual attestation penalties are all in place. I mean, unless we catch something with the test, but for sure this week. Yeah.
Cool. Um, yeah, so I guess we can just wait next week for you to show off what it actually is on the call. Um,
Okay.
the attestation stuff. And then I'm planning probably like in about a week we'll free once your stuff's in and these current three PRs, that'll we can freeze it for the next upgrade. Um, that'll be like the monthly upgrade cycle. So uh yeah, and I don't think we've have anything on the docket after that. We're planning on upgrades once we get this stuff in, so it's exciting. Um, Caleb, how's things?
Good. I have Grafana now also monitoring mainnet. So we have some good monitoring set up there. I tweaked around the Discord monitor script so that expecting it to be ran on every validator so that we also have a liveness check. So I set that up so we have all those alerts in place. And then I finished a Docker environment that you can either use to run just off of your current branch. There's another one. It's not really useful right now, but next month's upgrade, whenever this code is like in the repo for longer, we'll be able to run a script that will check out to the previous tag, build it, and then start up an environment, propose, vote, execute, and upgrade, and do everything all automated. Right now, though, if you check back to the last tag, we just don't have the code that sets up the Docker environment, so it won't work.
Okay.
Yeah, if we want to, I can show the forking stuff now.
Yeah,
Go
please.
for it. All right, let us know what these terminals are first. Look at
I'd probably close my cursor.
that.
All right. So this is basically the script that gets ran. I guess the first part of the process is you need a node that's up to sync. You stop the node and you call export. It will export a bunch of data, and you'll need to download the data. And this is an example of a downloaded Genesis file at what height are we at? This is from the height of 3,752,898. It also spits out these module state files so that we can import the data during the fork and upgrade. So once you get all of this stuff in place, which is described in this README, so you can follow that. Once you get that into place, where's the script? There it is. All you have to do is run the script. Some things to be aware of. The script will be creating a Git branch and changing Git branches, so it's probably safer, and the script will make sure that you have a clean Git branch and it pushed up any changes so it doesn't like overwrite or mess with anything. And then it will go through and update the code and basically like set up the upgrade so that the like module.goes have the right consensus version. And then once it does all that, it will build for the Docker environment. Once it has the binary that it needs, it resets all the changes that it just made and switches you back to your branch before it is merging two Genesis files. So since this is obviously a Docker environment, we don't have the same validator keys available to us. So what we're doing is basically replacing the entire validator set with a new one so that we can make blocks, but also test migrations and stuff with actual chain data. And then once that is done, we start up the chain, and yeah, there's some discrepancies whenever you do some of the math to update the Genesis file that you can be like 1 loya or 2 loya off. So this part of the script detects that and like updates that number and then restarts it so we can.
So correct me if I'm wrong, the script works. First, you export all the data, right? So you have a chain, let's say the validator set's been compromised. So how a normal fork would work, or we want to test from here. It grabs the block height and all of the chain data that's relevant, right?
Yes.
How long does that take?
2 seconds.
2 seconds. Okay, so it's fast exporting the data. And then it removes all of basically the validator set information. Does it like delete their tokens or just burn them or?
It's actually jailing everybody. So, and it's jailing everybody to the point where, like, if this was a real life scenario, we're not slashing any of the tokens. We're just moving them to unbonded. So, like in real life, if we needed to fork and for some reason we needed the chain like back up right away, we could theoretically set it up like this, and then validators could come get set up with a new fork and on jail once they're synced up, and they wouldn't lose any tokens or risk being jailed by not forking soon enough.
Okay. But so then you would have to change it if you wanted to say slash a malicious guy.
Yeah.
But cool.
Yeah, this is just kind of the general like process.
You just jail them all so that way the chain can start running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously in like a real life scenario, it's gonna be like incredibly specific.
Yep.
So it's yeah. But yeah, as you can see. Well, as you could have seen the first time when I ran it and I had uncommitted files, it fails. So now that I have the files, good. Let's run this.
How many validators do you restart the chain with? If everybody
It spins up 3 validators and 3 reporters. Did all the changes. Building, deleted the branch. Bound the air with the non-bounded tokens being 2 lawyer off.
Does it change the chain name?
Yeah.
Yep.
It changes the thing to, I think, Tellor DevNet.
Okay.
Actually, I can just tell you. Yeah, Tellor DevNet.
Nice.
Okay, so now the chain is running. Right there, and then we can kind of see that if we query the reporters, we have all of the reporters from Palmito. And if we query validators, we'll see that we still have all the validators, but they are jailed and set to unbonded.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I can't wait to see that write-up on forks for Cosmos CK, Caleb. But anyway, good job, guys. These last couple of weeks, I know I've been traveling, but great to see everything moving forward with all the monitors and everything else that we're trying to push for the week. I will be at DopCon next week in Berlin, so if you're there, ping me. Yeah. Do you have anything else, Nick?
We'll be publishing a price feed article later this week, right? I believe so. So keep on the lookout. A fun read for anyone interested in price feeds. So.
And do we have any questions, Ryan?
No questions.
All right. Then we'll see everybody next week.
See you guys.